Hello and welcome to Ticket to Life. I hope everyone is doing great this morning. Today's date is March 19th. And yes, I'm actually doing a podcast on the actual day and going to post it. That's unusual. I usually do it a week or 2 weeks before. But anyway, I hope everyone had a great St. Patty's Day. I hope you had a fun day doing the green thing. A lot of people don't even know why they celebrate St. Patrick's. I mean, they just do it because there's a lot of fun parties and drinking and all sorts of stuff. But anyway, have you ever had green beer? I have. It's just beer with food color. It doesn't taste any different. But anyway, I do hope that you had a fun St. Patty's Day. But a week from this Sunday, it's Palm Sunday. You know what that means. We are getting closer to the celebration of Easter and the resurrection of Christ. And I know some of you don't believe in that, but you know what? That's your business, not mine. But anyway, so I'm excited about Palm Sunday. We plan to be in Kansas, I hope, for Palm Sunday. But shh, don't say anything because we want to surprise the grand girls. Anyway, we are also, I don't know, does everyone know what Palm Sunday is other than some churches, all Christian churches, except I don't think non-denominational, but I don't know, so don't quote me, pass out palms. And it's to recognize when Jesus went into Jerusalem, and they didn't have red carpet back then, so they actually laid palms onto the ground for his donkey to come into town. And it's, again, I mean, he is royalty. He is the Christ the King, but yet he rode in on a donkey and did not have a chariot of gold or a coach of gold with Clydesdale horses or anything. He literally rode in on a donkey, and that's what that is. That's why we had celebrate Palm Sunday in remembrance of that. And then the following week will be Easter, the passion of Christ and the resurrection of Christ. So anyway, that's a little bit of my theology that I'm sharing with you, Christian theology, and hopefully, or Catholic, I don't know, Christian Catholic. But I hope that everyone is doing well. And also a disclaimer, this podcast is could be a little deep. I don't know if you allow your kids to hear it or not. Probably not, but I wouldn't, especially this one. And I will put a little disclaimer at the thing. You can say, oh, this is an adult content kind of thing. But anyway, so anyway, my disclaimer for right now is that I am not a doctor. I'm not a therapist. I am not a love guru. I am not a life coach. I am Henrie, and these are my thoughts, and these are my opinions. I'm going to be talking about people who feel broken. And if you don't know what that means, that means when someone is just an adult, is not feeling the good stuff. Emotionally, it can be exhausting. It can be overwhelming. And it's usually caused by stress or past or present trauma. Well, I have a story to share that someone shared with me to share with you. So, of course, the names will be changed to protect the innocent. And this story is about someone who has bipolar, has depression, has and relationships with family and friends is hard for her. It's just really hard for her. We are going to call her Denise, and if there are any Denises out there, I'm not, and you fit the bill, I'm not talking about you. I'm changing the name, like I said. And Denise grew up in a family of 5, mom, dad, and she and her 2 sisters. And she was the oldest, but there was a problem. And the problem was that dad was an alcoholic. And would go to some of her school activities, drunk and loud and obnoxious. Mom would not attend because she couldn't deal with a lot of the stress that went on. First of all, raising 3 girls, PMS, can you imagine that household? Ah! But Dad had a job, he provided, but was very abusive. When I say abusive, back in the day, people would use the belt, people would, you know, people were rough. And I'm sure there are still people out there that do this. But this caused a lot of grief and trauma. Some parents think that this will not affect their child as they get older, especially if their children wind up being very successful. And then they are questioning, why don't they come see us? Well, Denise, being the oldest, had to deal with a lot more. She felt as though she needed to really protect her other sisters from getting in trouble. Now, this was a long time ago. She's sharing this story. So she did get a good job. She was successful, but there was just something not right, and she knew it. So she finally did seek help. And a lot of people do not, they're too embarrassed to seek help. And that is, and it is hard. You don't want to go and talk to a stranger about your problems. But sometimes it's just a necessity, or you can't afford it. But there is actually help out there. I will give you the numbers that I always give for the suicide prevention, child abuse, domestic violence. I will give you those numbers in a little bit, but they are always, always on my description. I just leave them there permanently in case you are not sure who to talk to. I'm hoping that one of these numbers can help you and guide you as to who to get help for. If you belong to a church of any kind, usually your pastor, your priest can guide you and help you get some help. And sometimes they will personally spend time with you just to help talk to you and help you feel that you're not alone. Because I always say you are not alone in anything you go through life. Someone is going through the same identical thing that you are going through. Well, back to Denise. Denise decided, I need help. She had a major blowout with her parents one day. She said, she felt like they had just ruined her life. Now, how can they have ruined her life? She was successful. She had a great job. And they just couldn't understand why she just didn't want to come around. Well, finally, one day like I said, she kind of flipped and she said, I went over there and yelled and screamed. And she said she slapped her dad and said, you have no idea how you ruined my life. Well, of course, she took things into her own hands. And some people just can't talk about certain things. Well, so she finally did seek help, and she is doing so much better, she says. But being in a relationship with parents that could have harmed you when you were younger, and there was no sexual abuse or anything like that. It was more yelling, she said, and spanking and slapping and such. But going through something like this, it does make such a challenge in relationships with family, parents, and people don't get it. So because of this, she hasn't spoken to her parents in a while because she really doesn't feel she can't right now. And that's okay. Now, you have the parents who do this and they have a great relationship with their kids, and their kids wind up saying, thank you, I know I deserve that. But no child deserves to be punished in that way. And if, the dad is no longer an alcoholic, mom is great. Apparently, they're doing better as they've gotten older. Sometimes parents don't know how to handle things. I mean, it's hard being a parent. Number one hardest job in the universe is being a parent and trying to raise a decent human being. That's tough. But some people can't and don't know how and wind up taking it out on their kids. Again, if you don't, this is just me, if you don't feel as though you can take care of your child, do the best thing for them. And that's get help for yourself or get help for your kids. Now, this is just my opinion, but this is where you can reach out to family and friends and tell them or ask them for help. It's family. It's your friends. They should understand. Now, I feel really bad for all these parents who are lost. But remember, it takes a village to raise a child. That is so true. You are important. So help yourself and get help. Now, I've told you about my therapist, and I can talk to him about anything and everything. He listens and he guides me. And that's Jesus Christ. I just can sit and chat. And sometimes I do feel lost. I think we all do at certain times in our lives. But unfortunately for Denise, that's very traumatic what she went through, and it happens to men too. Men feel this way. They go through these relationships. It's not easy when a kid parents get separated or divorced, or parents are not supportive. And I think that the parents are asking, have mentioning to their sibling or her sibling, why that Denise has not asked us to forgive her. But yet, the parents have not asked Denise to forgive them. It works two ways. The parents have not rethought of how they raised Denise. And thinking, well, I don't think that was the perfect life. But of course, I always say there's no such thing as a perfect life. But two wrongs don't make a right, as I always say that too. But I think the parents need to reach out. Now, I really do. And I think they need to reach out and say, hey, I'm so sorry for what I did to you growing up. Because that stays with people. And some of you may be going through this. And if you are, please go find someone to talk to. If you're not a Christian and don't believe in God, please go find someone. If you pray to God and ask him to help you through this, I'm telling you, it will work. It's not a magic thing. It's just God. He just will help see you through this stuff. It might not be right away, and you have to be patient. But ignoring self-care is putting you and others in a bad depression, anxiety, mental health condition. Now, her saving grace is that Denise, she found a church recently. And that's really helped her a lot. But she found something to express her mental health, to express that trauma. And that is, she has started to, or maybe it's not that she started to, she found something that has really helped her. And sometimes a lot of us ignore what I'm about to say, but she has found beauty in each and every day. She got herself a camera, not the phone. She bought herself an inexpensive camera, and she finds beauty. She says, I will look around, I will go outside and say, wow, look at the sky. It's so blue. Because sometimes we tend to forget to look up. Sometimes we forget to see the beauty in each and every day. And she is finding it. She said she was, just be driving somewhere. And she will pull over because she sees something of beauty. It could be a field of corn. I don't know. It could be a field of flowers, mountains. It could be anything. But she says because she didn't tell me everything, but a lot of it is just God's beautiful nature, the sun setting, the sun rising. And she finds beauty. She sees birds. She likes to take drives out into the country, and she looks around and finds beauty, God's beauty, because she knew she had to get out of this funk because she's only, I think she says 44 in the email. But anyway, so most importantly, this is just about you, any of you going through something like this. You need to practice that self-compassion and acknowledge it's okay, but seek professional help. Find a therapist, find a pastor, find someone that you know you can trust to talk to. And I really believe that she has set these boundaries, like do not enter danger zone right now with her parents. But I hope that that yellow tape goes down for her eventually when she's ready. But again, everything we do with our children as they are young, if you think they're not going to remember it, they will. And you could do something and they don't forget. I'll tell you a funny story. It's not really funny, but it is. I don't remember this, but my son says that I hit him over the head with one of those bamboo flutes. I don't remember it. So I don't know what was going on there, but he does. So, and he was little. He said, don't you remember you hit me on the head and it broke? I'm like, oh. So, yes, he remembers, but I don't. Some parents forget how they raise their children by choice. They refrain from thinking, oh no, I did everything. I provided. They had food, they had shelter, they had clothing. But a provider is important, but also the love, the caring, the understanding, and just spending time with your kids, getting to know them. You'll have such a better relationship with your children as adults. I'm grateful for having a good relationship with my siblings and with my kids and my husband and his family. So those are things I'm grateful for. So if you are like Denise, go look outside, find some beauty. Find some beauty in your own life. If you have a family, love them, get them, understand them, talk to them, put the phones down. We are given the opportunity to raise good people. So we need to take advantage of that. Our children are the next generation. Let's teach them what we want them to know about the goodness of God and being a good human being. And like I said, most importantly, teach them to be kind. So if you are kind, more than likely your kids are going to be kind. So here are the numbers I'm going to share with you. And like I said, they're always on the description of any of my podcasts. And they are suicide prevention, 988, 24/7. Someone professional will talk to you and guide you and be there for you. Child abuse national hotline is 1-800-422-4453. You can call or text 24/7. Again, someone is there. Someone will guide you who you need to talk to or where you need to go. Also, there is CHILDWELFARE.GOV, G-O-V. And the good thing is you can text these. So if you don't want to talk to someone, and domestic violence hotline, again, 24/7, 1-800. You can get a hold of them anytime. 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, 9 a.m. It doesn't matter. Someone will be there. Domestic violence hotline is 1-800-799-7223. And you can text also, and they have a separate text, and that is 88788. So if you're feeling broken, know that you can heal. I believe you can heal by the power of God and opening your heart to Him. Express how you're feeling. Some people can never do that. And if you can't do it, write it. Write it in a journal. Write all this down because that will help relieve some of that. That's for me because I've always journaled all my life. Just write it down. Put it away. And eventually, I pray that Denise and her parents can make amends. I pray that her parents will apologize for the things that were done and said, because forgiveness is very important for her to heal. And hopefully she will be able to forgive them. And yes, they should forgive her, but understand why she feels broken. So please, please, please don't hesitate to call any of these numbers if need be. And this is Henrie. Thank you so much for listening. And please, you are a blessing. You are worthy of being loved. You are worthy of being happy in life. Why? Because you're you. And you deserve this more than anything in the world. Go find the beauty. Go find your greatness. Because we are great. We all have some sort of greatness. It could be anything that we want in this world. And I hope it's more of a connection with God for you, because honestly, that's the way to go. So I will be praying for you. And if you would like for me to share your story like Denise did, feel free to send me an email at tickettolife022gmail.com. Or you can text on the description. I don't know where you're texting from. I don't have your phone number, but I will get your text. And if you would, of course, like I always say, your story matters. Everyone has a story. We have the beginning, the middle, and the end. And right now we're all living the middle. So until next week, this is Henrie. I will be praying for you. If you would like for me to say a special prayer for you individually, please send me a text, send me an email, because it is so worth praying for. You are so worth praying for. Until next week, this is Henrie. Please, please, please go find your blessings.